Hey guys, welcome back to The Letter. So last time we had a nice little touching scene here in the park, but I was told there was something very interesting that happens when I pick the other option. So, you know what, Ash? You're not bad after all. I closed the short distance separating us, and lightly, in place of phrases that one couldn't spin together or answers too early to seek out, I lean over. See this? This is adorable, okay? And let's see the relationship. It's just like flying up there. Oh, and I give him a light little peck on the cheek. The touch is short, fleeting. The kind that speaks volumes of boundaries we don't often cross as friends. Nevertheless, the thought is there. It lingers. In the gentle autumn wind that passes, in an empty space separating us when I step back and look at him with a smile. It's easy to express gratefulness that way, isn't it? Oh, he's blushing. At least with my own family, that's the case. For the two of us, I'm not quite sure. Did he understand? After all, gratitude is considerably harder to put into words when you've spent the latter half of your friendship teetering between good-natured jests and ruffling each other's feathers. Seconds pass before he clears his throat. His face has gone remarkably red, whether from the heat or something else, I can't quite tell. But he understands. I know he does. Because the smile on him when he finally meets my eyes is the gentlest I've ever seen him show.
I, gotta go. Got some reports I forgot to file the other day.
Okay.
Yeah. See you around. Thanks for the ice cream and the charm.
Don't lose it. You won't find one here again if you do.
I won't. I might move like I have 2 left feet, but I know how to take care of my own stuff. I'm not a total klutz.
I know.
And Belle, remember that one time? Devlin Court?
Devlin Court? Oh, I do, with all the clarity in the world.
You... At the time, when we... What I'm trying to say is that you can rely on me if something... anything happens. Not the exact same thing, of course, but you get the idea.
I'll keep that in mind. You're not that bad after all.
Before leaving, he waves at me one last time. The next time we talk, we'll be back to the way we are. Because at the end of the day, that's how things have always moved between us. What we're familiar with, what we're comfortable with. For all that, it's always easy to put my own faith in him. I just hope I can keep them safe. Keep him safe. Okay, that is cute as shit, alright? Just... Why would you tell me that exists? Because that is just... The cat's name is Beruthiel. Or at least is what his collar says. It's an odd name to give to a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks grace much like the other one, the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow my hand's every movement. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me, after all. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought all these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home they're considered ill omens.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Can you though, Isabella? Can you? Not that I've ever acted gracefully in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brothers and a sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite? Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. A short breather and I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad. Even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite, or crosses my path, or exists.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? The bandage is wrapped on one of his paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
Because of course she would. I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
Oh my god, Isabella. He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as yes. I shift the piece in my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs it once, twice, before...
Baruthia!
Like a properly trained pet, Baruthial response is called, Marianne! It's good to see you again. Holy shit, Bella, you got a lot of stuff. Recognition comes to my as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCall is hard to miss, what with her height.
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you? Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, because last I checked, you love me. Almost as much as Ash, honestly, even though we've only met 2 times.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Baruthial's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthial's a she.
I'm sorry? She? All this time I thought... The pause in conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely 2 people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot. If it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Still, trying to be friendly wouldn't hurt, right? I think it would, but let's talk about her cat. I keep my tone cordial and warm.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCullough.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have pets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
Slowly gonna check the relationship bar. Slowly gonna return to my old choice. And we're not gonna talk about her cat.
I'm just curious. About your work.
What about it?
There's something guarded in her expression at mention of work, but I pushed through with my question.
I just want to know how it is to work on a house like the Ermengarde mansion. Is it hard?
Slowly checks, and she loves me. Alright, we're in, boys. And girls. I guess she wasn't expecting a question like that, if the way her eyebrows shot up tells me something.
Because of its age? I wouldn't say it is. It is a challenge, considering the factors me and my team have to sort out.
My god, she's blushing.
But it's a good project. A breath of fresh air from what I usually work on. And I have a good team. Those original fittings, though. It might be old, but the architecture is magnificent. I'm sure you've seen the stained glass windows in the foyer. Oh, I can already think of so many things I could do with it.
You're really passionate about this, aren't you?
But of course, my team will have to double check for necessary repairs here and there. That's probably for the best. It's easy to break some key elements with a rush restoration job, and who knows what other hidden issues there might be underneath. People can be so careless. I'm sorry, I spoke too much.
Don't be, it's something you're passionate about.
No, it's okay. You seem to really love what you're doing.
It's not really like that. I'm just lucky to have found work in an interesting field. Anyway, Baruthial's due for her visit to the vet. Nice talking to you, Miss Santos.
Nice talking to you too, Marianne.
I wish you luck with what you're planning to work on. It seems like a big project, too.
She gestures with her head towards the bags. The ones I've stuffed filled with stuff I recently brought from the art store.
It's a project for a friend, actually.
All the same. Good luck.
Alright. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. So I just want to stop for a second, and I don't know if I've said this before, but when I first saw her in the intro, I thought she would have been a singer. Like a famous singer. I don't know why, it's just her design made me think that. She faces me again, looking at like there's something she's forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion. With my clients, it's the rights. I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
The letter, the same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCall about the urban legends aren't just legend anymore. They're real. She's not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hasten to pick up all the bags I've left on the bench and run as far as my legs can take me. In that moment, what I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to go home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Of her. Of my own cowardice. The food tastes less appetizing than I thought. A pity. One would think that someone who'd been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what's gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the things you're trying to forget keep returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was someone else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33
No!
years old, working as a
What?
real estate agent.
I mean, okay, let's be honest. We knew she was gonna die. Let's not sugarcoat that. We knew she was gonna die. Because she was never part of this, core group. But I thought she would have been killed at least on screen. Rose?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
Oh my god. No. No. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. Also just the Anselm Butcher? That's what everyone's kept telling me, so why? And I... Immediately I rushed to my study table and searched my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly to it as soon as I touch the edges. A piece of folded paper, the letter, lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago and she was okay. No. 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 It isn't Rose, I'm sure of it. I just talked to her and... A sob escapes me and hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another they trickle down, weighted by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I'd been carrying from the start. The same one I'd been hiding from. The same one that's put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick up, tell me to turn down the waterworks, and to call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again I dial. Whispering. Praying. Pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers. But in my ears I can only hear the screams. Her pleas. Her whispers. We are not safe. A buzzing sensation jolts me awake. My body still wants to sleep, to forget what I heard, what I saw last night. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly I become aware of how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled up position the night before. I can't believe Rose is dead. If I even slept at all. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud. Instead, the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone because of me. Gone because of one letter I was too curious to look at. I should have been more careful. I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else got involved. I should have... The notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mockingly, when I look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normality. I check it nevertheless, out of habit more than anything else. If this was one of those typical days, I'd happily comply and get myself to our office. To all BRC employees, in light of the recent events, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy, and policies will all be discussed during the meeting. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sales reports for the last 6 months to be submitted to your respective managers for a review. We are expecting everyone's cooperation. Thank you, Joanne Alice Schultz, BRC HR Manager. Today my limbs just feel heavy. On one hand, going will keep me busy, take my mind elsewhere. On the other hand, the place in itself is a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. I'm gonna go home, or I'm gonna go to work. Moping won't get me anywhere. This is just like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile no matter how bad things get and hope for the best. Although my whole body feels like lead and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares back at me. They sneer. They ridicule. Like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it in my bag, perhaps with more anger or frustration than I'm used to showing. This too, I'll deal with. Somehow, I'll find a way and make things right. I have to. Before it takes more people from me. Even if I must do it on my own. I forget. Did Rose see the letter? I can't remember. Papers rustling, telephones ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, today looks like a typical workday at Briar Realty Corporation. Except it isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has already heard about Rose. If they missed last night's report, they'd likely see it in the morning news, in the papers, or on various news sites on the internet. Everywhere is a bitter reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth, as though the mere mention of Rose would be enough to trigger something in me. It's appreciated, but it only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose has left. After lunch, my boss calls for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what it's about. He's in a strange, pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead colleague. Oddly, I'd appreciate it more if he just shouted at me today. Anything's better.
I'm sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for a funeral, yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors. By the way, has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff? None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word? In my office?
At the end of it, I've been given the entirety of Rose's workload, including finalizing the rights papers, and have been promised an ample compensation for my efforts. I think he's expecting me to be happy about it. Instead, I immerse myself in my work. I have to anyway, if I want to forget. Time flies when you do, and by the time I give notice, it's already late. Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people easily like that.
The Luxbourne Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
The radio blares one name after another. Hold on a second. Missing? Aren't they? Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn back to my desktop. The loud tapping of my fingers against the keys fills the office for the better part of my shift as I look through everything. The background about the place, its history from the current owners, and list of employees hired under BRC. And I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff, they may have a lot of agents hired, but I remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew that worked with us in preparing for the mansion for the output house. I was right. Everyone who tried to sell that house was cursed or something. Then the letters... No, they can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
But Rose is...
Something snaps into place in the fraction of a moment. These people, Rose, the letter.
I need to... No. If it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ash often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe... I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but maybe there's still a way I can save them. The letter, my phone, papers, anything that'll be useful, I grab all of them and stuff them in my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something these people should... The noise shut sharply through the room, stopping my hand short of cramming a pen into my bag.
Hello? Anyone there?
Someone must have left the printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person's certainly going to have a fit tomorrow over wasted company resources. Most of the time it's Rose who does the nagging, but the clicking of my pen in my hand is a welcome distraction as I search for the said object. Each stride my feet takes also echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, and with me being the only one left, the tapping of my feet against the wooden floor is something I soon learned to appreciate. It doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about on the ground, the paper tray also having been left ajar. Sighing, I pick up each of it to put someplace proper. But the pages that greets me makes my blood run cold. It's 5 pages. Oh no. Deliver the letter to 5 people and it's finally made copies for me. The chill that makes its way up my spine is as numbing as the day in that attic. The sheets crunkle under my tense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it rasps through my gritted teeth. But before I can even gather myself, take the first steps out of here, total darkness suddenly envelops me. Oh, fuck right off. And as if hearing every horrid thought running inside my head right now, something snaps. A soft creak grating through the thin veil of stillness has descended in the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes rigid at the sound. Familiar. So familiar now. Yet my own traitorous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over the cubicle's walls. Oh, fuck you. It's her. Standing in the only exit of the office, albeit facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same misshapen face, tattered clothes, and unsightly gait. The same person in the attic. I take a step back, the pen I'm holding slips from my hand, and her entire head turns! A scream almost escapes my mouth and I duck under my table as quickly as I can. My heart's pounding hard against my chest. I can hear the bone-chilling sounds of her walk, the weird clicking that follows her, and her telltale squelch of something wet as she walks towards me. Nearer and nearer. The sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping the whimper from escaping me is my hand that covers it as it covers my mouth. Someone please save me. Anyone. I close my eyes, muttering a constant stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please don't let her hear me. Oh. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh no, 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 no. Okay, 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 okay. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, finally! Holy shit! Oh, oh my god, I did it! Holy shit! Oh, that was stressful. The seconds, minutes stretch out before me agonizingly. Is she gone? Slowly, I open my eyes to take a peek. Fuck you! I don't dare move or make a noise. In the face of such terror, I can only beg, let out silent pleas to whoever is out there. Please, please don't let her notice. I want to live. Do not make a fucking sound, Bella. What? Wait, hold on. What? No, you can't just do that. Am I playing as Hannah now? It's far too easy for them to pay attention enraptured. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All of it would have been stifling had I not grown used to such stares. Most are respectful, some are hostile if we're honest. And a few are downright inappropriate. After all, I am...
Hannah right!
Oh my god. There's a moment of agitation as a familiar but less than welcome face approaches me with a suggestive smirk on his face. Of course, I have to keep a benevolent smile and greet him as I greet any old friend. After all, this man can turn heads being famous in his own right.
Officer Lee! What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party.
He's more Luke's friend than mine, really, and I'm quite sure I only invited his wife. Much like I'm only friends with the Chief Inspector because of Luke, Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. Unlike how I treated Lee, however, Luke has never hidden his animosity for the Lee matriarch. It was an odd sort of friendship where we would have awkward double dates. I don't even recall his first name. It started with an N, I think? I might be wrong. Aside from being Chief Inspector of Luxbourne Police, his wife, Rochelle Levenivance, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, owns a General Electronics company, fridges and freezers mostly.
Oh, I always have time for my favourite socialite couple. Might I say, you look positively ravishing tonight.
So does the door. Maybe you should go see yourself out of it.
I see the husband isn't with ya.
The way he eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl. I just wish Luke was here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. You know the ones. Men who are just a bit too friendly, staring too long on my assets, and getting close just because my husband's not here. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. My own house, if I might add. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace and dignity.
I suppose you are looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Rochelle isn't here?
A shame. I do hope he isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor.
The same could be said to you, sir.
The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with a doctor and she needed to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all.
So you are at a party, flirting with a man's wife, when your wife is pregnant. You are a scumbag, and I hope you get the letter next. We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so, as he would not leave my side after finding his place there. Much to my chagrin, I've been intricated from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, for I can tolerate far better than Lee. He's a nice enough person, and I adore his wife, who's obviously the brains behind the two. But there is something unsettling about him. I don't trust him as much as I want to. He regaled to me tales of the Luxbourne Police Department, a different affair to the usual gossip I'm privy to, and though I'm loath to admit, is interesting nonetheless. I expect the topic of business to die out quickly, which should be understandable enough due to the confidential nature of his work. But oh boy was I wrong!
So, wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the new tank chasing on foot and screaming about theft. The look on his face was priceless when I parked it in the garage.
Oh my. You made him chase you all the way home for a prank. What did Rochelle have to say about that?
Rochelle has a strange love and hate affair with Lee. He's a married man who did not grow up past his early 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. A lifetime if you compare it to my marriage of Luke with 7 years. I said that completely out of order if you compare it to my marriage of 7 years with Luke. I, on the other hand, well, Luke is no Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Although my darling did have his moments.
The wife pulled my ear and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know. Or you probably don't.
No, I don't. But a flat in downtown? I suppose if that's what you like.
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife. I wouldn't mind a place away from the city. Even started looking at the ads.
Oh, well, I have a wonderful saleswoman if you want to find a place.
I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale. Or that something mansion, you know the one with all the ghost stories.
I know what he's talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here. It's...
The Ermagod Mansion?
She actually said it. The Ermagod Mansion.
That's the one. Worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses a place like that will be a real fixer-upper. You also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task.
Oh?
You remember the Ludgates party at their Christchurch summer residence?
I don't, but go ahead and tell me anyway.
Of course. It was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy, too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer and they turned it into a bloody palace. She worked for the Exodus for their apartment in Soho too, and they recommended her when we were looking up pieces for our beach house in Porto Colom. I think I have a business card no, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's called, what's her name, Marianne, I believe, yes. But truly, if anyone were to get that place in McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and the talk of the town.
Is this, like, before she bought the mansion? I'm having trouble following the timeline here.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself. This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway.
A bit small? Dude, this is bigger than my house. Sure, three-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. Okay, maybe a lot of people. But it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. As it is, I can only invite about 30 people to this one, and it feels cramped in here. It certainly would be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors before I could get anywhere as well. All Luke's words and not mine. Besides, I have been looking for a good anniversary gift. Luke might like this one. Where is he anyway? Oh, so it is. This is before, because it was the 24th, wasn't it? Yeah. Luke's dressed to the nines, as he usually is, and he looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. His butler and valet wait at his side, just in case he isn't as ready as he looks. Oh, sure, that's normal. What is confusing me is the fact that he's on his way out of the penthouse, considering we won't have anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn Tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place. I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Mary Ann McCullough.
Okay, so you got her name right, kind of, but just combine the Mary and the Ann to Marianne.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this. This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere. You know how I operate, Hana. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking, unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis.
Okay, thank you, Johans.
And
Johan.
you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday morning.
Bullocks, I don't remember doing so.
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
He did. Moaned about me being too loud, but gave in after some pushing. Perhaps it's a bit too cruel and manipulative of me, but...
Whose side are you on?
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Johan, the man, the myth, the legend.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance. But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff, and you are going to take a cab home. Are we clear?
Yes, sir. It's just a bit of husband-wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have their arguments. Once the honeymoon phase is over, as I seem to call it, reality sets in that you and your partner might not always see eye to eye. Perhaps it's been the years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff at.
I just cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the Triad tasting.
Though sometimes I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and I have to stop myself from wondering where we went wrong.
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour-and-a-half drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff.
Certainly any problem can be discussed, as long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hana?
Why must he treat me this way? You know what? I'm gonna defend myself. Screw you, Luke.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want. I'm ecstatic. Understood? And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply before he crossed his arms to look like, well, a moping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
No wine.
No wine?
No wine! Oh no!
Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
I can't get over the way he said that. No wine! Oh, you may be an asshole, but I love how you complain.
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
My guy!
Whose side are you on?
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor!
I love these people. And Johan is my bro, alright? Thank you. Oh god, that was great. Oh, I gotta stop there. That's it. I have to stop on that note. I'm sorry, that's just great. Let me see the relationship. And he actually likes me more. Oh. Oh ho ho ho. I see. Oh my god, that is fantastic. Oh my, that is the best thing I've ever seen. Okay. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.